I do a kind of research when we have an episode or a topic which I'm not really into it, then I will research. Uh, and the episodes, I know something about to tell in this episode. So when we talk about the 8th of April or the 2nd of August or the work from organizations or art, music. So that's not difficult because I learned about that. And for other episodes,
Welcome to the Amaro Voice podcast. Amaro is from the Romani language and means hour. Our Roma is Sinti and traveler voice among Europe. My name is Sinti Mishi. I'm journalist and Roma activist from Germany. Hello Melissa, how are you?
I'm fine, Senior, and you? Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm 26 years old and I'm from Leipzig, from Romani.
And today is our last episode together at this part of this project for this podcast. And we will have a Q&A and question and answers episode. So I asked on Instagram of Amaro Voice to send us questions, and I collected some questions, and then now we will do that step by step. I don't know if we can use all questions, but at least 10, 12 or less. I will try to ask. So the
I'm
first thing,
so excited.
yeah, the same. So I kind of know the questions because I collected them, but for you, you
Yeah.
don't know them. So, okay, so the first one, also you can start to answer. What is something you wish to improve in the future?
What I want to improve is, especially at school, to learn about more our history so that the students and also the teacher have more information about Sinti and Roma and the Poraimos.
So the next, yeah, that's a good point. So what I want to improve, um, I think I want to improve more the editorial techniques. I mean, I edit all the time these episodes when after recording, but I think there is more what you can learn. You know, like doing animations better or uh, better editing, and there's always new software or something. And
But I think also what's also really, really important, because to change the plan at school, it's so hard and a long way. And it's really important to get more projects, to have more financial support. I mean, for this podcast, you have also projects, and it's really hard in this area in this time to get some good projects, and I think that's really, really important to get more financial support for our community, for other communities too, but for educational projects.
but do you know what is even more difficult, more hard? Like
Mm.
when you started a good project, and you get good comments, and people already say it's very good. And then after this, when the project finish, it's difficult to continue
Mm.
this as a project or to find new fundraising for this to have it as project, because all the time when you finish a project and when you want to start a new project, you always need to do something new, you know.
Mm.
Like example, if the project will end in November and I want to continue with podcast, then you need to create something new, but I cannot create a new podcast. We have already Amaro Voice. So this is also tricky. So it's tricky. It will be tricky after this, how to find a project where you
Mm.
can we continue also with you to work, to continue with episodes, to continue to do Amaro Voice. Maybe you need to do something like a new rubric, or you can do like a new format for YouTube. So you can
Hmm.
do you. There's always ideas, but then you need to use. You need to tell them that from this project it's very good, that we created a platform, we created Amaro Voice, and now we have listeners, we have people who are watching, we have almost 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so there are just few missing, and then uh, on YouTube will be 1,000 subscribers. So maybe until this episode is online, because of course now behind the scenes. So and what I like about Q&A, when you do Q&A episodes, it's kind of you give them behind the scenes. So of course
Yeah.
we record episodes earlier than they will be published. So yeah, so this is also
Yeah.
difficult. So what I
I
said. So
think so too, because now you have an audience, right? And you have good feedback. You can work with that. And then it's over. And I don't understand it. It's so sad. And guys, what do you think about Amaro Voice for YouTube channel and YouTube format? Like we have in Germany other good educational formats. I'm it's called Dateteta, and they make two anti-Islamophobic um, topics, and it's really really interesting. I think also we need that for Roma and Sinti people. What do you think, guys? If you like that, write in the comments.
thanks for watching us. If you want to support us, you can like this video and give us a comment. And to not miss our episodes, you can subscribe our YouTube channel. If you are watching or listening right now on Spotify, or listen on Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts, you can follow our podcast. To get all informations from us, go and follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Amaro Voice. Yeah, and for sure, Melissa, you should do YouTube. You should just start if you have ideas, and do your YouTube channel, and then slowly grow. So because we need more YouTube channels. Also, what people don't know is also we need to stop thinking as competition. So more YouTube channels we have is better for the community, but it's also better for us. We can collaborate. We can do say like, okay, we do one special episode like I did with Romanistan. One episode is on Amaro Voice YouTube, and the other video is on the other YouTube channel, where there will be also promotion for Amaro Voice, and Amaro Voice is promotion for the other YouTube channel. So this same thing, like we did for Romanistan. Yeah. So okay. So the next question is, what originally inspired you to start the Amaro Voice channel? So, okay, this is why. What was the inspiration? I did podcast in German language before, and I was thinking we are a diverse group. We have a lot of Romani communities I met during my international activism. Many people from different European countries. I have a lot of friends from different countries, and I was thinking it's important so we to create a voice for Romani people, a Roma voice, because if we don't do it, who should do that? So it wasn't before, and I was thinking if I do maybe in English. Also, friends told me, encouraged me, told me you should do something in English, because in English we have bigger audience than when you do just in German language, and that also others can understand. Before, when I was doing in German, and I was thinking also it's important to show that we are very diverse, to show different Romani communities from different countries, and this is also the best opportunity to do with interview. And I was thinking like when I was doing Rhymecast, so this was my first podcast in German language. Later I changed the name in Sinti Roma News, and I was doing a lot of interviews in Germany with different activists from the Sinti,
Yeah.
but also from the Romani community. And I was thinking, like, I did almost everybody, not everybody, but mostly people I was interviewing, and it was like a challenge for me to interview new people from different countries from Europe. But also maybe the question to you, Melissa. So you uh, joined us as co-moderator. So what also um, what was your motivation to be part of Amaro Voice?
At first, I remember we did also an interview, like podcast together. So you interviewed me, and I thought it was really interesting for me. It was a nice new format for me, and then you posted on social media that you need to find a new co-moderator, and if you want, you can write me. And I said, "Oh, that's a great opportunity." So I tried, and I'm sitting here, and yeah, it's a good format, and I think it's also nice to see our face, not only to hear it. So I think it's more than only a normal YouTube video or TikTok video. It's more, and it's nice to have more podcasts about Sinti and Roma.
Yeah, true. So, what has been your biggest challenge in working for the podcast? So, this is the next question.
To talk in English. I mean, I studied English, but it's different to speak more English in front of the camera than to write in English or something like that. So I'm really shy, and I don't really like to hear myself when I talk in English, but I hope everyone you can understand me. So if I have some grammatic false stuff, I'm so sorry.
I think the best recommendation for you is also to watch more in English. So, I watch
Yeah.
also YouTube content in English sometimes, and
Hmm.
it also helps me to hear something in English. So, like entertainment stuff or different stuff. So, like
Hmm.
different YouTube. Um, I don't know. I watch them in English, and it's helpful. Yeah. So the biggest challenge for me is that I do the creative, so I do the moderation with you. In the same time, we record with the software, and then after this, I need to edit it, and then also this podcast is part of a project. So I'm the project coordinator. So at the same times, I need to collect invoices, do the financial report, to write everything what we paid, and also to do the report for the project, the financial report. So
Hmm.
um, in future, I hope if I do projects that I can just do I would like just do the creative to
Yeah.
give my say my whole like power to for creative stuff, and let other do this stuff. But now in our GA, because our now in our NGO we are small NGO, so I do
Hmm.
all by myself. So sometimes I do just financial stuff like for the whole day, or for the whole day I just edit the episodes, and then exporting it can also be taking a long time.
Respect. Yeah.
Uh, do you have a favorite episode, and also maybe a guest, and what makes it stand out? So this is the next
Maybe now
question.
you need to add first your opinion about it
So I
because
don't
it's
have a
your.
favorite guest, so I respect every guest what we had
It's
from now on.
me.
I mean, a guest for interview, and also with the co-moderators. And I don't have really a favorite episode, but there are some episodes which I'm proud of because of the research, but also um, the topic is important, like the episode for the um, Roma Day for the 8th of April, example, and also like the episode about Herdelezi, which was important for me, like to do these topics. But I think I don't really have a favorite guest or episode.
Yeah, same for me, but what I really like, it's really genius, is about the rubric. To ask ChatGPT about the stereotypes. That's so genius. I really like that. I mean, we know all the stereotype question, but to hear it from ChatGPT, it's really interesting.
Yeah,
That's a really good
that's true.
rubric.
I like also the other rubric called Learning Romani Language,
Hmm.
and on social media is also shown like example. we upload the highlight videos from the episodes on TikTok and Instagram, and like the video about learning Romani language, but also the video about breaking stereotypes about Roma um, get the most comments. Example on TikTok,
Hmm.
they get comments. So I like the idea also about the learning Roman language because people make comments and write, tell something more about their language, about their dialect. So example, I was doing interview with Ismael Cortez, and we talked about this Spanish Romani language, and people added more information to that and told us more about the Kale and give us more information through the comments, but also people was commenting how they say it in their dialect the words. So I like this.
That's
Yeah,
nice. So
yeah,
have a feedback and a conversation with the audience. That's
yeah,
nice.
that's true. Yeah. So how do you prepare for an episode? So yeah, I would like, this is also interesting for me to know. So how do you prepare before episode? Because sometimes I even don't tell you which topic we record, so we are very spontaneous, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah. That's really nice. I would say that our co-moderation, it's only spontaneous. It's like, oh, today we make this and this. You send me the topics, what you want to do the next episodes, but which episode on which date, it's a little bit spontaneous. But I do a kind of research when I have when we have an episode or a topic what I'm not really into it. Then I will research. Uh, and the other episodes, I know something about to tell in this episode. So when we talk about the 8th of April or the 2nd of August or the work from organizations or art, music. So that's not difficult because I learned about that. And for other episodes, then it's a little bit okay. I need to talk with you. Let's see what I can say, or let me do some of research, and then I will talk to you. But for you, it's more important because you will look which topic you want to have in the episode. So how you research for these
Mhm.
episodes?
Yeah, just shortly, like also to that the people understand why I do this like this, why I give you spontaneous the topics, because I want when we do an episode, when we talk, and when I introduce you the research or when I introduce you to the topic and we talk about the topic, I want that we have a spontaneous conversation,
Yeah.
talking, so that it don't sound like we are reading on something. Of course, when I do the research and I do some notes, sometimes I need to read at that moment because I introduce you, but I want that's why I give you spontaneous, because that the podcast episode don't sound like you're
Mm.
reading like a lecture, and that's the
Yeah.
point. So how I do prepare: first, I make some notes, some brainstorming, which topics I would like to have, and then I write on the document some episodes which can be interesting, um, like example podcast episode about music, about media, and then I try to find on Google different resources. I like make the research and find informations. Sometimes, of course, because of the activism, because I know something, then I know, okay, if I want to talk about pop, about music, they should be talking about flamenco, and then I go and search something what I can explain about flamenco, or example Romani World Congress. I know the historic
Yeah.
stuff about this, but to tell it better, of course I search for resource, and the exact dates and numbers. I mean, from workshops I know it, but sometimes it's better to find research. Yeah, and then I create a script. I have for every episode a script, how I want to start, when I do moderation, which topic, when we talk about rubric. So from this script, I always do the episodes. The same also for the interviews. I have one schedule script, what I do for everything, and just I add there the questions and the rubric, and then I
Yeah, I
go after
think
the
it's
script.
yeah, I think also it's so good to have a normal conversation. It's not like robotic stuff or okay, now you say something, now me, I would say this, and you say this, like a script in front of us. So it's more spontaneous and it's a normal, good conversation
Yeah.
that makes it really not so strict.
Is there a topic? So now the next question: is there a topic you always wanted to cover but keep putting off? Like we couldn't talk about it, but we wanted to do. I think there's one topic what we wanted to do. You remember? Um, about this Roma guy from Germany who
Yeah, true.
about
Yeah,
deportation, but the problem was so they needed him to deport him back to the Balkan countries, something like
right.
that. He was as refugee in Germany, and you recommend me to interview him, which we wanted, but the problem was he couldn't speak English, so then we
Yeah.
tried to find how we can do it, but this is something this topic about being refugee in a country and that you need to be deported back. So this topic is also in the future what we still need to do and what we couldn't do now.
And it's really interesting about his story because he doesn't know the country. He has not a German passport. He has
Hmm.
not a Serbian passport. Yeah, and so why he needs to go back to Serbia? He doesn't know the country. It's only the country from the parents.
Mm.
So that's the story, and he fights for to stay here because why he needs to go there? It's not his country.
Hmm.
And maybe we will find a way to have an interview with him or you because it's a really interesting story and he is not the only one in
I think
Germany,
what
but one of them they talk about it.
so the next question is for both of us. So do you have any pre-recording rituals like a song, phrase, or else example? So this means like something what we do before we start to record.
Before we start to record, we go in this chat here in this recording room and then we talk about what we want to do,
Mhm.
what's the plan, and then I will say, okay, I will want to say this and this, and you say, yeah, I want to say this and this. I have some information. Then
Yeah,
we
but
say, okay, let's go.
do you have something what you do before we start to record? Example, when I go to my office,
Yeah.
I turn out I connect on the software because I use also my phone as a camera, and then I switch like the lights and do the lights, and
Hmm.
then when I send you the link and send you the topic, then of course we arrange a time when we want to start to record, and before when I then I wait, and I will do this also when I do the interviews, and then I always listen a song from J. Cole, Middle Child. So I always
Mm-hmm.
listen this song before I start to record. So
Hmm.
so I listen always a song, yeah, Middle Child from J. Cole.
For me, it's I have a child right now, and I put my child at sleep. So I put my child to sleep. So
Yeah,
that's maybe my
yeah,
thing. What I do
yeah,
before we record.
yeah. Any book, movie, or music recommendations you would love to share?
Music. So, for music, I don't know. In Germany, we have some, in my town, some rapper, and they make music in Romanes. They call Gypsy Kings Leipzig. Um, they have good music. They have a channel on YouTube. If we will find it, and also the music, we can put it in the
Yeah.
comments. Maybe you can hear it. And movie, we talked before that it's Gypsy Queen. It's on Netflix.
Mhm.
And what was the other one.
Yeah, book maybe, but you don't need
Book.
everything. If so,
Maybe this
yeah, from the episode
Ereon
before. Yeah,
Ungut. But maybe it's only in German where you can look.
yeah.
Maybe we have a English translation.
So actually, I just few days before, um, actually 5 days before, I was in cinema. I was watching the new Superman movie from the new
Oh, really?
DCU.
And how
Yeah,
was it?
yeah, it was good. So it was interesting. So I'm a, I mean, I like DC Marvel movies, but I'm more a DC fan, and DC has now a new universe with a lot of movies.
Mm.
And Superman was just the start, and it was good. It,
I
yeah,
know. I like the old Superman with Henry Cavill.
but the new one is very good. So it's
Mm.
different. It's
Okay.
different.
Maybe I
It's
would.
different than Man of Steel with Henry Cavill, but the new one is also good. So I liked it. I was very spectacle, but
Okay.
I liked it.
And the second movie, what I really recommended is this movie. It's called Do Roma. It's about a Holocaust survivor and a musician. He's a componist. He make classic music, and the movie is from Jovanka Gasper.
Hmm.
Maybe you find it in the internet, or yeah, you can research it. And if you find, if you when you find it, watch it. It's a really great movie.
And music, I just said what I listen, so you should listen J. Cole. So what I can recommend more. Okay, so have you ever had to scrap an entire episode and why? So okay, so that was planned last year when we did episode about cultural appropriation in that time when Stephanie Boschnak was the co-moderator. So we had also related to the topic an interview with one guest, but she cancelled in last minute, and this
Oh,
interview would be interesting. So there was good questions, and it was about the Spanish Roma, but sadly she didn't have time, so canceled last minute. That was the only time when we needed to scrap an episode to do something new. Um, yeah. Okay, so there's one more question, and then that's all for now, because then the episode will be too long. Where do you see the channel a year from now, and what do you hope to achieve by then? I just hope that we can continue this podcast, that we can continue also together to do more episodes, to have not just 15 episodes, to have also because we have two different types of episode on this podcast. So we have the interviews and we have the episodes with co-moderation to topic like team episodes. And I would like to continue, but we need to see how we can do that. So I hope that the YouTube channel can grow in the future, that we can be independent with monetization. But also before we achieve that, I hope that we can try maybe to find a new project where, because we have a team now, we are two people, but in our team there are two more people. Also, thank you to them who do. One is doing research and one is doing social media. Of course, everybody has other things to do, and we want also as NGO to pay everybody fair for their work. So that's why we hope that somehow we can continue in future, maybe to have a new project for Amaro Voice, that we can continue this work. Because of course, if the project stops and I don't know what I will do after the project, maybe I will have a new job. But if I have free time, of course, I will kind of continue the Amaro Voice YouTube channel. I don't know, but I don't know how, and maybe alone then, because if I want to work with you, I want to pay you fair, because you have also your other stuff to do, and also the others, because it's also helpful, because I don't need to do everything by myself. So I have people who help me in research. I have for social media. So we are a team. So that's, I hope that this can continue.
I hope we will find a chance to, or you find a chance to get this podcast alive and you can continue with your work. And but I'm really, hopefully you will find also new formats and new social media channels to grow your ideas, and also to find good cooperations with other people, other co-moderator, because you have other people have also a lot of story and also their own mindset, and to tell your audience different things.
Okay, so this was the questions. Now we continue with the rubric for the last time. The last stereotypes. Now we are starting with breaking stereotypes about Roma. So I asked ChatGPT to give me 10 stereotypes about Sinti and Roma. And now we are having stereotype number 10. And stereotype number 10 is Roma are not integrated. They don't want to be to integrate, so they are not integrated. That they don't want to be part of a society.
Yeah, it's yeah, what I can say, it's like when you see it in the Middle Age, they tried to be involved in the society, but it was not allowed to them. I mean, we have a long history about the Greek and also other countries and other societies who was not really interested, or they doesn't want to have the Roma and Sinti uh, in their country, in their society, so they put them away from them. And I think that's hard, because you see the history, and uh, everyone wants to be involved in the society, no matter which community you are. And also, yeah, it's also for the Roma. They are integrated, but maybe you don't know that they're Roma.
Yeah, that's true. But also, if some Romas in some European countries, because mostly not every European country, but mostly countries have their Roma neighborhoods where only Roma live. So if this happens, if some Roma are not part of the society, it doesn't mean because they don't want to. It's because maybe because of discrimination. So um, sometimes if you live in like Romani Mahala, we say in the Balkan countries, it's like a name for Romani neighborhoods. If you live there, for you it's difficult to get a job, example. Or yeah, so that's all. Or like you said, that's true because in Germany, many Romani people who are successful in jobs and who study, who or like for younger people who are like very good in school, sometimes because of discrimination, because of racism, they don't show their identity. So you sometimes you don't know. You have maybe neighbors, they are Roma, but you don't know it because they don't show and they are very successful. But also, yeah, that's not true. So actually, uh, there is not an integration problem. There is an inclusion problem. Inclusion problem of Romani people being included in many different stuff like media, jobs, society. So actually, not we need to be integrated. We are already integrated mostly, most of us. The society need to give us inclusion, not just use it as advertisement to promote their that they're good people, like
And
many
their
people on
politics, their
the politics.
entertainment,
They
for
use
movies, whatever.
the name inclusion now is used for, like promotional that they are do inclusion. But how many people are really doing inclusion? Like in media, you see it. They talk about inclusion, but if you ask about Romani media, that Romani people, Romani journalists can have their Romani media platforms in public media, if you ask this or if you apply for a job, you will get a no. So where is the inclusion? So that means the society or the institutions need to include us. So not we need
I'm,
to be
I'm
integrated.
I mean,
So we
also when
are.
you make, yeah, also when you make some documentations about the Sinti and Roma, you will see they don't have Roma journalists, or uh, Roma. They help them to make documentation.
Yeah.
and then you see the documentation is completely with stereotypes.
Yeah, that's true. So this was breaking stereotypes about Roma. So this was the last episode, the last team episode as part of our project. I want to thank Ewan and also to thank Stephanie Boschnak, who was the co-moderator for the first 5 episodes last year. And also, of course, I want to thank you for being part of this project. So, do you have any closing words?
Thank you, Senor, for this great opportunity. Thank you guys for the good audience, and I hope I will read a lot of comments of you. Maybe we can still have contact. We'll find a way, and thank you very much. Thank you for this great podcast.
Thank you also for participating here on this podcast. So, thanks for watching or listening. Ciao and Devlessa.
Tschüss.
This podcast is funded by the Stiftung Erinnerung, Verantwortung und Zukunft EVZ as part of the project Amaro Voice, digitale Bildungsarbeit über die Communities der europäischen Sinti und Roma bei der NGO Medien und Kulturzentrum Deutscher Roma e.V.